Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Tubifare. Full disclosure, I only agreed to do a second episode because I wanted to beat the weirder the better for, number of episodes in the can. I'm Steve, various things across the channel. Same with Matt. We also have Mr. DJ here. Hello, DJ.
Hi, I'm not doing anything, so here I am.
A couple months ago, we did Tubifare. Honestly, we didn't really have an idea for the show. We just really liked the name Tubifare, and these jackasses wouldn't let me change the name of the Stevecast to that. So we decided we got to do something else with it. So we've been finding random movies on Tubi to watch, and by movies, I mean two. Because this is only the second episode. 3-4 months ago, we watched Strike Commando, which, while not good, I think was entertaining in a Tubi sort of way. Tonight we watched the sequel, Strike Commando 2. No clever subtitle, just Strike Commando 2. And whoa,
Raiders
it's
of the
pretty
Lost,
rough.
Predator and Rambo. That's the subtitle.
It copied. I mean, the first movie copied so many things as well. This movie, I feel like, really leaned into all of the things that it was stealing shit from. And DJ, you never watched the first one, did you?
No, I was trying to decide this whole time whether this movie was supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek comedy or if it was actually like taking itself very seriously, so seriously that like there was some passion project guy that just didn't know what the hell he wanted and was like, give me that. And then they did, and it was this movie.
I feel like this movie wants you to take it seriously. It certainly doesn't endear itself to such thing.
I don't know, man. The music choices, like
The music is bizarre.
There's a fight scene where he like swings in on a rope for some reason and like kicks the guy over. And the music that plays in the background is like when Luke and Princess Leia are like about to kiss. It's like,
I know I've heard that music before somewhere in some other movie, but I don't know where. I couldn't find any information in it, but I know I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah, anytime there's a fight scene, there's like this like really low quality adventure music. I'm pretty sure at one point when Strike Commando and random bar owner lady go on adventures, like there's legit like circus music playing.
Oh yeah. When they're like kind of comedy bantering, I guess comedy bantering based on the music, not on the tone, back and forth about like how much her bar was worth, and they have that like. Like playing in the background.
It's just a little bit off from the stupid circus big top music. It's ridiculous.
Well, what's the premise
was the first
of
one
Strike
anything
Commando 2,
like
Steve?
this, or is this
The first one definitely got the. Well, the premise is
has some plot twist, guys?
Yeah. To answer your question, DJ, Strike Commando 1 was a little bit more serious, a little bit less ridiculous music, but ultimately kind of I'd say roughly the same quality. We were much more forgiving of Strike Commando 1, even though it was not a good movie. But Strike Commando 2 has the same character, Michael Ransom, but played by a different actor. I did not bother looking up this guy's name. It does not matter. And Michael Ransom has gone from being this hyper confident and competent commando guy to being this easily manipulated idiot with daddy issues towards his previous commanding officer in the military. So he has a nightmare about his military commander his military commander rescued him when they were off on a mission. He wakes up and he hears that his commanding officer, whose name is Vic something or other, has died. And immediately another military buddy comes in and says, hey, our military commander is actually alive. The CIA faked his death because reasons. And that's all Michael Ransom needs to know to immediately launch an assault on this CIA office, I guess out in the Philippines somewhere. Meanwhile, his source, his other military buddy, it turns out this was all a setup. Then there's the main bad guy in this movie. I don't even remember his name. But if you think
German dude,
faux German dude. But he looks like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. the really like Weasley guy that gets his face melted off when
Yeah.
the Ark of the Covenant opens. If you give that man a tan suit and 100 pounds, that is the bad guy of this movie.
Hey, so
And
quick question before
yeah.
you move on. So when that scene happens and he kills the guy with that like, you know, sleeve rope
the
or whatever,
groat or whatever the hell that's
they cut
called.
to this shot 3 or 4 times where it says like Jofon something knows. And then it like they cut back and then it's like graffiti that's on the wall and it's like Jofon something knows and it's like a guy's name and it says knows underneath of it. And it, like, is that some sort of plot twist or like is that telling you about like the future in the movie? Is that some character that is we're supposed to like use that from, or is that just like random graffiti that's in the
I don't
shot?
even know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I don't really either, but I'm sure that random shots of shit like that are in this movie. But
I'm gonna find it and put it. Is there a way to post like pictures into this thing?
Like, send it to me and I'll include it in the video. But right. I feel like giving this I feel like treating this movie like it included some sort of Strike Commando deep lore Easter egg in the sequel is way too much credit. I'm sure that this was just some random
like
graffiti.
It was like really beating you over the head with it. That's why. And then the same thing when they're riding around in that boat, they cut to this scene where they just like linger on this this like logo that's on like part of the mast that is like some tourist group thing. And like, I thought maybe these were references you guys would be like, oh yeah, and this is a reference to movie number 1. And like, this guy is important or no?
I think DJ may have stumbled onto some Strike Commando
more
2
strongly than you guys watched
you did.
This apparently.
I think you may have stumbled onto some Strike Commando 2 mystery that the director like hid in the movie and it stayed dormant for like 35 years. And you're the one, DJ. You're the one that caught the graffiti and the boat mast. And that's your entire prize for this. That guy's not going to give you anything for finding this out. So anyways, Michael Ransom, hero of the first movie, just assaults this CIA headquarters and interrogates a guy, beats him, gets the location of where Commander Vic is stationed or being, I guess, held because he's now in kind of sort of witness protection. And so Michael Ransom immediately goes and launches a second assault on Michael Ransom, hero of the movie, goes and launches a second assault on CIA headquarters where he finds Commander Vic, who tells him, yep, you know, I was a CIA agent. My cover got blown. They faked my death. And now here I am being protected. But it turns out all of this was a setup because the bad guys used Michael Ransom to track down Commander Vic, and Commander Vic gets kidnapped. Michael Ransom, for whatever reason, the CIA people immediately forgive Michael Ransom for the 2 separate assaults that he launched on CIA headquarters. And then so they send him in to rescue Commander Vic. Commander Vic is being held hostage by a drug dealer who has demanded $10 million in diamonds. And if he doesn't get the $10 million in diamonds, Commander Vic is going to be turned over to the KGB, who will presumably torture him and get all of these American military secrets. So far, so good. Any comments and any concerns so far?
I think that it's pretty obvious, at least to me as the viewer early on, that Vic's a bad guy. Like, he's in on it because it's really shown that he's just kind of like, okay, Michael Ransom's coming, but it's clear that he's in on it.
Yeah, any independent observer looks at Commander Vic and goes, evil, like without a doubt. Everyone except the CIA and Michael Ransom in this. Anyway, so Michael Ransom.
Is the guy who plays Vic the same actor who was in the first one?
I don't
Wasn't Vic
think
in
so.
the first one? Let me look.
I don't think so. Yeah, if it was, I don't think it's the same guy. I do vaguely remember Michael Ransom having like one trusted military friend in the first movie, but I don't think it was this guy. If it was this guy, then either he aged horribly or the character was miscast, and I don't know which is which.
So I posted both of the pictures in the chat. One of the stickers says, Mike Caton is my friend. And the other sticker, or the other thing, the graffiti on the wall says, Elmer Owell knew. And like they cut to those shots multiple times during those scenes. Like, over and over again to the point where I thought it meant something. So there's the facts right there. I'm not making this crap up.
I feel like you've discovered this cipher to some serial killer's encoded messages to the police.
Is there a dude named Mike Caton or Kalen or something like that?
I mean, the main character in the movie is named Michael Ransom, and that's all I can tell you about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that name of anybody in the first Strike Commando. And I don't see a Vic in the first Strike Commando either.
All right, so brand new character that they've introduced into the sequel here, who apparently was very, very important in Michael Ransom's life, but didn't get a mention in the first movie. Regardless, the CIA sends Michael Ransom into the jungle with the diamonds, and the goal is give the diamonds to the drug dealers and bring Commander Vic back. And the CIA guy is very clear. It's like, I will not consider this mission complete until Commander Vic is either dead or returned to us. That's going to be an important plot point later, so let's keep that in mind here.
Yes, very important plot point.
Very important plot point. Don't want you to miss anything with Strike Commando 2. So Michael Ransom just shows up at this random bar. I don't remember ever hearing anything about this bar was meant to be the meeting location for the diamond handoff. Regardless, Michael Ransom shows up to the bar. The fat Raiders of the Lost Ark bad guy shows up with fucking ninjas for no reason, just because ninjas.
He has like guns behind him, so like it's a weird choice. Like go ninja go, and then like.
Well, don't forget how this scene sort of starts. It's almost an exact. Well, it's a clearance rack version of the Raiders of Lost Ark scene with Marion, right? When she's dueling the guy drinking the alcohol, right? Because that's in this one. I guess I can't remember her name in this. She's blonde. She's very feisty. She's very fiery. They're drinking beer. And in this one, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's who can pass out first. And this one's it's who can belch first loses.
Yes.
I thought it was vomit,
very
not
different.
belch.
Pretty sure it's belch.
Yeah, I'm with Matt. I think it's the first one to belch loses the bet.
Yep.
Anyways, among the many things that this movie rips off, it rips off the Marion introduction from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Stupid ninjas attack. These ninjas look like me if I was like swinging a sword around, and Michael Ransom immediately beats them all. The bar ends up blowing up. And the random bar owner lady escapes with the diamonds, and Michael Ransom lets her escape with the diamonds because the bad guy then tracks her down, takes the diamonds from her, and then Michael Ransom attacks the bad guy and gets the diamonds back from him. So I want to ask you guys...
He swings in on that vine.
He swings in on a vine like Tarzan. I want to ask you guys... What was Michael Ransom's plan here? Because he starts out with the diamonds. He arranges it so that the girl ends up with the diamonds, knowing that the bad guy will take the diamonds from her, and then he gets the diamonds back from the bad guy. He started with the diamonds, and his plan was to get the diamonds back. What was his goal here?
I guess I was confused about the whole glass thing too. Like he puts the diamonds into the glass. So you think that's going to be like, I thought he was going to swallow them and it's going to be like a poop joke or something that happened. But instead, like he just like looks at her and is like, diamonds in the glass.
Yeah, he tries to give the bad guy fake diamonds. He pours the diamonds in a glass and kind of nods to the girl like, "Hey, those are the diamonds there."
Like I didn't get that part either. Like
it must have been ice because diamonds
you think
and
that,
ice.
Like German guy is gonna be fooled by like 4 melting ice cubes in like a rag and then be like, "I can crush these with my hand." And I was hoping it would like actually bleed or something.
An idiot. His plans are ridiculous.
When did Temple of Doom come out? Because that opens with diamonds, right? Remember, it's Indy and Short Round, and they're like in Shanghai or whatever, and then they have that big fight with because Indy gets poisoned, and they have the diamonds at the beginning of that. Yeah. So I think it's like a combo of like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. I'll look that up. Temple of Doom.
Regardless, Michael Ransom's plan was to get the diamonds back that he already had in his possession. You kind of just got to roll with it because it's never fucking explained. So he doesn't kill the bad guy. At first, I thought, okay, he's doing this to get the bad guy off on his own so that he can kill this bad guy one-on-one. No, there are multiple times through this movie where he just continually lets this main bad guy survive. Regardless, he's now partnered up with a random bar owner lady, and she says, you owe me 50% of the profits, but 50% of the profits of what? Like, those diamonds aren't his. They are a ransom to be paid to the bad guys. Like, he doesn't get to keep those. Those aren't his diamonds. 50% of what? And it's just never addressed. Like, he just never corrects this woman that these diamonds don't actually belong to him.
She definitely wants money for her destroyed bar, though. She makes that clear.
Yeah,
but she also makes it clear. Yeah, the other guy at the bar
worth $20,000. He has a lot of kids.
Well, it's still like she says, I am now a 50% partner. A 50% partner in what? It's never explained at any point in the movie.
Well, I thought that they were going to start a new bar. Like, I guess when I was watching it, she was going to open a new bar and he was going to be a 50% partner with her in the new bar that she opens. The
new bar thing wasn't until the very end. So at the very end, like, she's like, now that I have these diamonds, here's what I'm going to do with my money.
Yeah. I thought she was under the impression
Beverly Hills.
I thought her idea was she was going to end up with half of the diamonds. I could be wrong. I'm not watching this a third time to find out.
I mean, I went back twice to watch these like little scenes that have the signs in them. So, I was trying to pay close attention, but the plot lost me a couple times and then like circled back around to like catch me up and then lost me again. So this is a real weird turn movie. Like it feels like they spent too much time double crossing.
Yay or nay on this girl? Because I thought she was the best part of this movie. I thought she was the only real entertaining aspect of this movie. I liked her character, even though she's like mean and vengeful and manipulative. I liked her character.
I don't know. The ninjas were kind of fun. That whole scene where they're like trying to climb up to the cabin, but like choosing different paths every time with the same results was like, I don't know, quite enjoyable for me. I liked all the extra characters.
There were ninjas in this until you guys started talking about them.
I only remember the ninjas from the bar fight scene.
When the guy that rescues him from the police detainment center, but is just like the town sheriff or something walks in, like that guy is also great. There's a lot of like secondary people in here that aren't part of the main plot.
There is after Michael Ransom attacks the CIA headquarters twice, he's just arrested by the local police. And
then someone else posts bail for him.
Yeah, so a different CIA guy bails him out, and the CIA guy says, "Hey, Michael Ransom, you caused all this trouble. You should apologize to this like local police chief." And the police chief is like, "We don't want your people in our country, troublemaker." And Michael Ransom's like, "Yeah, I'll be seeing you around." Like, he's almost kind of threatening this guy who did absolutely nothing wrong. Because Michael Ransom is a piece of shit in this movie.
The payoff was never there, but I love that guy. That guy was great. Like, you could tell that English was like his never language, and someone had just made him repeat words a bunch of times until he was able to almost able to say it, and he's just like nom 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 nom, and then like
phonetically sounded out. That is a thing that a lot of filmmakers did overseas. Like, they would just have local actors who couldn't speak English phonetically sound out the lines. The actors oftentimes had no idea what they were saying and what the words meant, but they would just practice saying them phonetically, and that's how you would get that. So I have no doubt that guy probably had no idea what he was saying.
I think the sad thing about this movie is like one scene. It was pretty sexy, like not maybe sexy is the wrong word, but like it had a lot of very high end theatrical, like explosions and gunplay, and then like they cheaped out on like the punch sounds for some reason, and like that whole bamboo fight scene at the end.
They cheaped out on the actors.
May I?
No.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you coordinate like blowing up a building. That's not super cheap. Like, you have a boat that you turn over. That's like a couple grand to destroy. You fly a helicopter around twice, 3 times in this movie. Those are all like high ticket items. And then you get to the like sound palette for this like fight scene and you use the exact same like every time you punch somebody. And it's like, come on, man. Like you were 3/4 of the way there. You could have just like gone all in. And instead you like, I don't know, you cheaped out on the weirdest things. Like maybe 3 less explosions, but like a better lead character. I don't know.
How about some better music?
Yeah, or yeah, exactly. Like
there's a documentary. I'm trying to find it right now. I think it might be. It's not Electric Boogaloo, but I think it's by the same guys who did that, where it's all about action films that were filmed in the Philippines in the 1980s. And like movie studios like Canon would go there, and it was like a totalitarian regime, like I don't know, like a military junta or something that was running the Philippines back then. But they allowed all these movie studios to come in and just blow up whatever the hell they wanted. They would just let the studios or the filmmakers rent out tanks and helicopters and stuff and blow up huts and villages and things of that nature. So to your point, DJ, a lot of the high points of these 80s action movies, in my opinion, are the explosions, because you can tell they were allowed to just do whatever they wanted. And it looks really cool on film. They'll even do the slow motion, right, where the guys are flying up in the air wildly. And it looks cool, but man, they couldn't create a movie around it. And a lot of that's the main problem with these movies.
It's like a horror movie that's just like, all right, everything we have it sucks and is stupid. Just dump more blood on it. Just more blood. More blood is the action equivalent.
There's literally a point where like an excuse to blow up the building is she's like, we better get out of here. I have 10 sticks of dynamite underneath of this thing. And then like, he's like, really? And she like bends down, they look, and he like unrolls a thing and it's like 10 sticks of dynamite. It's like labeled 10 sticks of dynamite. And they're like, oh, we should get out of here. And then they run and then the building blows up and it's great. The blow up part, not the like, why are you keeping 10 sticks of dynamite underneath your bar? What purpose does that serve? Is that...
Yeah, and this movie even opens. It opens with a long, extended, slow motion like battle in this like I don't know. It's kind of like a wooded area, and it's just like you can say ADR all this dialogue over, but you just see these explosions all over and all these people in slow motion as the credits go. I was like, I hate slow motion. You guys know how much I hate slow motion, but I was like, that's actually an interesting way to start a film. Like 5 minutes slow motion scenes, explosions all around the place. So. It has little moments, as a lot of these action movies do from the 80s, has little moments that make you go, oh, that's cool.
Anyways, let's finish the story for this movie. Michael Ransom goes into this drug dealer's village, rescues Commander Vic, leads him out of the village, where Commander Vic turns on him and tries to get Michael Ransom to join his cause. And the diamonds were a scheme because the Commander Vic was going to use that to pay his way into the drug business and get a share of this business and continue to sell drugs with this drug dealer named Wanto, I believe is his name. So Michael Ransom, our hero, is just captured, just immediately caught by the bad guy as soon as he tries to infiltrate the bad guy base. Meanwhile, random bar owner lady, the only competent person in this movie, immediately like infiltrates a bus of hookers so that she can sneak into the village to rescue Michael Ransom. She ends up actually killing Wanto, the main drug dealer, at which point Michael Ransom escapes by beating up fat Raiders of the Lost Ark bad guy. He goes and confronts Commander Vic. And this is what I meant earlier when I said the mission is not complete until Commander Vic is either dead or returned. And Michael Ransom confronts Commander Vic. Commander Vic says, hey, I saved your life. You owe me. And so Michael Ransom says, okay, and lets him go. But not before doing the Rambo 2 stab the knife directly by the guy's head.
You're making a great mistake, Michael.
It completely ripped that part off. So again, Michael Ransom lets the main bad guy of this movie go because he owes him. Michael Ransom, the hero, lets the bad guy get away. They go outside, and Michael Ransom gets into a fight with the Raiders of the Lost Ark bad guy. For like the third or fourth time, it looks like Michael Ransom has the chance to kill this man, and he doesn't.
He tells the girl who's like, I'm going to shoot him. And he's like, no, don't do it.
I didn't. Was there something I missed? Did he have like some secret information that we were trying to like get that he was saving him until? Because
no, he just neglected to kill this guy. The other 3 opportunities he had to kill the guy. But they have a lethal weapon fight.
Yeah, it was. I was just about to say it's a lethal weapon fight, and then the very end, when you think that the bad guy's dead, it's got the Die Hard ending where he stands up, where Carl from Die Hard shows up, and then boom, she gets shot. When Reginald Phil Johnson shoots him, same sort of thing here.
Yeah. So they kill the main bad guy, and then Michael Ransom and random bar owner just kind of walk off into the distance, talking about the life that they're going to build with the diamonds that are absolutely not theirs, that belong to the CIA. So Michael Ransom completely fails at his duty. He lets the main bad guy go and presumably steals the diamonds.
Well,
that's the hero of the film.
There's a point here where we're led to believe that the CIA was actually planning to get rid of these guys because they knew too much about something that was unrevealed. And so it was like a triple fake where they're like, you need to rescue this guy, but really we need to get rid of this guy. And then that guy also is like working for, but also against the CIA at the same time as the CIA is also working for and against him, because the guy that gets him out of jail at the very beginning is also the guy that is like wrestling on the front of the truck and like hanging from the front thing and then goes off to the side. So like,
is that the same guy?
Yeah, it's the same freaking guy. And it's so many twists. Like, I'm not sure I even understand like where that guy got involved again, because he just hops in the back and then they all have guns. There's a window. You can see them behind the dude. And like, instead of shooting through, they all climb around the outside at this like lowest speed chase. There's a point where like, he's just love tapping the ground. They're going so slow that his feet are actually just walking along with the vehicle. And then he just jumps off to the side and you're like, what the fuck? Same thing with the, okay, there's a scene, and I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but there's a scene at the beginning where he like goes in to rescue this guy and like escapes, and the motorcycle guy like nearly runs someone over and then just like tailgates him so hard that you literally, when they cut to the camera shot, it's like his motorcycle somehow attached to the back of the car because he's just like right there on the bumper following the guy. And it's like, what kind of fucking driver are you that you didn't even look through your rearview mirror in an escape? And this guy is like sitting on the bumper on a motorcycle.
The movie is about like keeping diamonds away from a drug dealer and an evil like ex-CIA operative. And DJ's like, but the traffic laws.
I know. I mean, it's just like I can disbelieve some stuff because like, you know, it's a goofy action movie, whatever, fine, no problem. But like, come on, guys, you weren't even trying there. Like, even so, the first scene, the slow motion scene is fine, but then the whole dream sequence to meet the guy scene, it's like they forgot that they were supposed to do something there, and that was the last thing that was shot. Like right after he wakes up from the dream and the guy's just knocking on his door. That's like the worst looking thing in the entire film. And it's like, what's going on? What happened here? It's like, that must have been like, oh shit, we forgot to get this one shot. Let's go get this shot so this makes sense. And then they just put this shitty thing in to like fill it in to get to where the plot picks up again. Because the rest of it all looks like it was shot quite well. I mean, you got good depth of field. You got like great lighting. Even walking around in the freaking cop place, like it looks nice.
We do not endorse what DJ is saying right now.
Crazy. This thing doesn't look good at all. What I will say is, to your point, DJ, about the guy on the hood of the thing. Again, whole scene taken from Raiders of the Lost Ark when Indiana Jones is driving the truck and everyone's fighting on it. Whole thing happens here, and there's so many. There's even a moment from Predator. There's still a Predator when Ransom gets Vic and they're like going through the jungle, and Vic basically says like, hey, come here, and then takes out the knife and stabs like the scorpion or something on Ransom's back, and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, they literally just took cool sequences from other movies that are a million times superior and threw them all into this. But overall, I didn't hate this movie as much as I thought I would hate it. What I will say is it's really hampered. Michael Huff, I think, is the guy who plays Ransom in this. He's bad. He's like a charisma vacuum. Like, he is not... Like, I don't want to see him at all. Anytime he's on screen, he just... Oh, God, it's like the most milquetoast thing possible. It's like Michael Dudikoff on steroids. And it's just
friend of the show, Michael Dudikoff.
Friend of the show, Michael Dudikoff. But what I will say is I do think there are moments where it's genuinely funny. I think her name is Rosanna, who has the bar. I actually think that she brought some spiciness to it. She overacted like crazy, which I think in these types of movies is a benefit and a plus, where she's just so over the top and ridiculous. I couldn't help but like enjoy her character. So anytime she was on screen, I really, really dug it.
She like drives the movie from the time she's introduced until the end. She is the driving force for the movie. It's her bar that the first big fight happens in. She's the one that knows how to get Michael Ransom to the drug dealer village. She's the one that rescues him of her own volition when he gets captured. She randomly knows how to fly a helicopter to get them back to where the action is.
That scene's so hilarious too, when it's like clearly they just have like some fog or something they're shooting behind that helicopter, the interiors, and she's like working that joystick. Yeah, all right, as he's like shooting this machine gun. It's so ridiculous.
Ready for the first round?
Ready!
But yeah, you're right. She's almost the hero of this movie, because without her, Ransom doesn't.
The bad guys win.
Bad guys win. So she is the actual hero of the movie.
So the actual bad guy, he never shows up again. Like, does that mean he's like good to go forever, or
Strike
what
Commando
bad guy are you
3?
talking about?
Okay, is there
As far as I know, there's not a part 3.
Well, no. So the blonde-haired older guy,
Talking
like that,
about
he
Vic.
like, yeah, he lets him go, but like,
Yeah.
does he get blown up somehow in the village again? Like, I
No,
thought I saw him
that's what I
swirl
meant.
my money later on, and then like,
Yeah, Michael Ransom lets the main bad guy go. His mission was the mission's not over until Vic is dead or Vic is returned. Neither of those things happen. Michael Ransom just walks away from the mission with the diamonds.
So
there's
other question.
There's a lot of cocaine in this movie too. There's a whole thing where they're making.
Just
I
blow
love
out
when
cocaine.
Ransom walks in and you just get that Rambo shot with him just shooting everything, and in slow motion, all the vials are exploding and the cocaine's blowing all over the place. Classic 80s action.
I thought a lot of those scenes looked really. And Matt's like, no, this is garbage. But like, from a
Stop
filmmaker's
praising the movie,
perspective,
DJ.
like they had a lot to work with for some of these scenes. That like, I don't know what the budget is on this, but it feels a lot bigger than it should be for as shitty of a movie as it is. Like, this has like the aspects and elements of something I would think maybe had several $1 million in the 80s to film. Like, I guess I don't know what an 80s film costs, so maybe that's all just like discount Malaysian money or something, but like
Discount.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it's cheap. I mean, they could make movies super cheap in the Philippines back then. That's why so many filmmakers went over to the Philippines. This was directed by Bruno Mattei. He's a very, very famous exploitation filmmaker. He's known for making Drek, lots and lots of it. He's done horror films, he's done porn films, he's done action films, like you name it, Bruno Mattei threw his name on it. And you're right in the sense that they had budget to create the explosions and all that looks good, but I think the nuts and bolts filmmaking, like the editing of this thing, is atrocious. Like, you can barely understand what is going on.
There's scenes where they just like focus on someone's back while they're having a conversation for like 3/4 of the conversation. Like, come on, cut away. And like, I'm not good at editing, and I would cut to their face at least once,
That's called poor filmmaking, because I mean would imply they didn't film a reverse shot, TJ.
Well, so
You get one shot, and then you live with what happens with it.
I feel like in this case, like a lot of that was just only having one camera on set. Because if you watch a lot of the scenes, like the camera just gets like plopped down somewhere and then doesn't move at all the rest of the time. But still, they blow stuff up and it looks cool. So then, like, I'm still kind of on board with this. I don't know.
That's true.
Maybe I'm
I mean,
wrong.
the explosions look cool. No, the explosions do look cool, and I think there is. Dare I say it? I enjoyed this one more than the first Strike Commando. I think I did. I'm not saying it's good, Steve. You're shaking your head. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not going that far, but I think I actually got more entertainment value out of this one than I did the first one, for what it's worth. What do you think? What are your thoughts,
Disagree.
Steve? What are your thoughts?
I did not like this movie at all. Where I felt like the first movie, while not good, had like some charm in it. I was entertained, even though the movie was pretty bad. I can tell you that I first watched this movie 3 months ago when we were planning to do Tubifare episode 2, and then I forgot everything about it. And so earlier in the week, I had to watch it again, and I was dreading it because I gave no fucks about this movie. This movie is awful. There is, aside from the character of Roxanne, or Rosanna, is that her name?
I think it's Rosanna.
Rosanna, random bar owner lady. She is the only source of entertainment in this film, and she's only in it for like the last 2/3, which is not nearly enough. Movie's trash. Hated it.
Well, I can hit you with some hot facts if you'd like, Steve.
Oh, please do.
Okay. This comes from IMDb, where everything is correct. It's the truth, right? So, first trivia fact. The film was shot deep in the Filipino jungle in a little village called Los Baños. Brent Huff, who played Ransom, stated that during the filming he was in the best shape of his life because all the physical action on the set, he did his own stunts. And the food was great.
What stunts?
Oh, I suppose like
he jumps and rolls.
The truck stuff, probably, when he's hanging off the edge of the truck as it's moving at like 2 miles an hour. I mean, that's probably pretty dangerous, right?
He jumps out of a window and some other things too, right? And like behind a couch.
He says during filming he ate nothing but fruits and fish. So that there's a hot piece of trivia for you.
Is that like a keto diet?
In the early draft of the screenplay, Michael Ransom was tortured in many other ways. He was, for example, held in a cesspool full of pig's excrement, as well as whipped and beaten with bamboo sticks. In the first draft of the script, Ransom was interrogated for more than 2 weeks. Does that change your opinion of anything?
No, that wasn't in the movie.
Strike Commando 2 was shot simultaneously with After Death in 1988 due to both films having to require the same camera for the 2 separate productions. So there you go, DJ. And to minimize the budget. So we need to watch After Death. We need to see if that's on TV.
Do we?
Yeah, I mean, they're both filmed at the exact same time.
Is that what Tubifare is? It's like we have to play some 6
like
Degrees of Kevin Bacon game.
Yes, like we got to find out.
Every movie has to link to the next one. Oh, great! Well, I guess we're watching whatever you just said in 3 months.
See if After Death is on Tubi.
Yeah.
The German version of this movie is titled Heroin Force, and it met with heavy censorship. Torture scenes of the main protagonist, Michael Ransom, as well as some of the scenes of the battle with his opponents were censored. So there you go. German censors strike again.
What's that movie again? I've already forgotten it.
After Death. After Death.
What year, though? Because it looks like there's also 3 or 4 other years that have movies.
It'd be 1988, probably 1988 if it was filmed simultaneously.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, so we might have to let that idea go. Idea was too good. There is a zombie movie called Zombie 4 After Death, which is probably just as good.
Who directed it? If it's
Zombie 4 After Death, yep. This is
I wonder if
1989.
I wonder if that's the movie.
Directed by Claudio Fragasso.
Oh, Fragrasso met director Bruno Mattei. They had a relationship together, 10-year partnership. I think this might be the movie.
Is that Zombie? All right, so it's Zombie 4 After Death. Fantastic. Can't wait.
Is that on Tubi?
Yes.
Oh, my. Okay, guys, there we go.
I'm game. Hey, so
Oh,
this Vic
also,
guy.
this director of this is the guy who directed Troll 2, known as the worst
Oh.
movie of all
God.
time. So
Wait, I thought Troll 2 was the good one.
Troll
There
2
is
is
no
the one
good
that
Troll movie.
you would love. Troll 2.
That's the one with the ring, right? And like and they like stabs the people and they turn into cocoons and then baby trolls come out.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen Troll 2 in
Troll
forever.
2 is where they go to the town of Nilbog, which is
And he
goblin
goes,
spelled
"Oh
backwards.
my god!" when he realizes Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards.
That sounds great.
Now there is a documentary, DJ, about Troll 2 where it's all about it's called like the best worst movie ever made or something like that, and they actually interview all of the people who were involved in the making of Troll 2 and how it got made in the first place. You'd probably dig that film, but
I'm writing it down. That sounds fun.
After
hey, so
Death.
Weird guy, the bad guy that was trying to have sex with her while she was pretending to be a prostitute, Vic dies. He's actually in a bunch of like weird looking stuff too that we maybe would want to check out, like Black Mama, White Mama, Wonder Woman. Just a bunch of real strange stuff.
Yeah,
Alright,
I want to
DJ.
check out that movie. Why would you think we'd
Blood
want to check
Fist?
that out?
Black Belt 2, The Dangerous Life.
I do
don't
think
know, this guy's like
I did notice a
Really?
couple of the quote unquote ninjas, background ninjas, were background ninjas in Big Trouble in Little China. So let's wrap
Anyways,
this up.
final thoughts.
DJ,
Yeah, final thoughts on Strike Commando 2.
I mean, I kind of want to go revisit Strike Commando 1 because I've never seen it. And like starting with 2, I feel like
It's better than this
maybe-
one, which is faint praise.
maybe there's some like links in the stickers and graffiti I found that go back into the deep lore of Strike Commando. And if so, then I'm proud of the director for being so like fastidious with his work. I think fastidious is the right word. I don't know. It's science. But
I don't think it is.
But yeah, it was a bad. I didn't hate it. Like, would I watch it again? Probably not. But if like there was a party at my house and like I wanted something random to just be playing in the background, this is perfect. Or like, remember in the old days when it used to be the in thing for a band to just put a movie on behind them while they played? Like, imagine this movie behind you with like no sound and like a rock band is playing. This movie's got so many strange things going on in it that it would be
Sounds like
very
hell.
enjoyable to see as like a backdrop to like, I don't know, Nine Inch Nails. You put Nine Inch Nails in front of this and like, it would be like, they have that like storm cloud thing above them and then it's just like, and then like,
I think my final thoughts on this, obviously, I actually like this better than the first Strike Commando, for what it's worth, even though I don't think it's a good movie. My main problem with this is we've watched a lot of these 80s ninja and action movies in the past few months, and this movie does not have that it factor that a lot of the really great ones do, right? Like an American Ninja or Invasion USA or something like that, where it's just from the very beginning all the way to the end, it's just balls to the wall, craziness, insanity, charisma, machismo, and you never feel like there's a moment in those movies in which you're bored or you're just kind of like, all right, let's get things moving. This film does not have that stuff in it, which lessens it
There's
for
no
me.
charm to it.
Yeah, it lessens it to me. Other than the character Rosanna, I really liked her character. I thought she had a lot of charm, and she was trying her best to make this at least entertaining. She knew what type of movie she was in, let's say that. She understood the movie she was in. The lead actor who played Michael Ransom thought he was making a serious movie or something in it. That's not what it was. So overall, I'm not going to watch it again, but I kind of agree with DJ that this would be something you just throw off in the background. But there are way better 80s action movies. Hi, Danny. Way better action
There's
movie.
Saw that, DJ.
I just saw a female arm enter the room. So, Steve, your final thoughts?
Crap, hated it, never going to watch it again. I am looking forward now to Zombie 4 After Death.
Do we have to watch the first 3 zombie movies? We need to do a little research on this. Like,
wait,
I
is
don't-
Zombie 4 really number 4 or did they just put 4 in the title?
I think because there's the movie just called like Zombie and then Zombie 2 and they're overseas there are a bunch of zombie movies that it just had the name Zombie followed by a number, because I think maybe Dawn of the Dead was just called Zombie over there.
They would just
and so they
attach
pretend these are like unofficial sequels. So I can't imagine there's any lore between Zombies 1, 2, and 3 that we need to know about ahead of time.
I don't know. I'm watching the trailer right now for Zombie 4, and it looks fucking good. Like it looks
endorsement from DJ. Well,
it looks
maybe
legit fun. Like just this is like got some real silly stuff going on in it. Like,
well, maybe we'll be back in 3 or 4 more months to watch Zombie 4 After Death. Otherwise, I got nothing else to say. Strike Commando 2 sucks. Don't watch it.
Man, at least watch the trailer for Zombie 4 because it's fucking amazing.
Leave a comment, everybody. Leave a comment down here. What can we expect with Zombie 4? And let us know how often you'd like to see a Tubifare.
That doesn't matter. Good. It's how often do we want to do one of these?
That's true.
Hey man, I'll watch any Tubi movie you tell me to, as long as you give me at least 2 hours notice.
Congratulations, DJ is now the man behind Tubifare. Ronan abdicated his authority, and DJ is now master of Tubifare.
I don't want to be the showrunner for Tubifare. It's
there you
DJ
go, DJ.
now.
You are now the showrunner of Tubifare.
Hey man, as long as I don't have to do the synopsis, because you know how I do synopsises. They don't make any sense to anybody but me, and like that is not I focus on the wrong things when we're trying to talk about a plot.
Steve's mind is like a steel trap. He remembers details of everything. I don't even understand it. Like I will watch something and forget half of what I just watched immediately after watching it, and Steve, like days later, is like da, 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 and he's going point by point. It's incredible.
It's Curse, which made watching this twice even more terrible. That's it. That's all we got. Cut. We're done with this episode.